Hello. Whoa, I'm a little bit loud, I think. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a List on KPCA LP 103.3 and online at kpca.fm. This is a show where each week we choose a topic relating to movies, music, video games, books, pretty much anything else that we feel like talking about, and we make a list and discuss our picks. And if you want to get involved anytime during the show, you can call in at 707-981-7577 or tweet us at Phil and Ariel. That's at Phil and Ariel, and the number again was 707-981-7577. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Phil. I'm the host of the show. This is our second episode, and hopefully everything will be perfect. And with me today, one of my good friends, Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hello. My middle name, Gina makes fun of me, is making a list. I love making lists.
That's good, because the first question was actually going to be, do you still do that? Because I know when we lived together and stuff in college that we'd both make lists and we just send them to each other through like AIM. We'd be like, what are your top 10 favorite blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool.
Making lists. You know, she always makes fun of me too because everything's my favorite. This is my favorite on this. My favorite for this. Favorite list. Anything on the top 10 can be my favorites. It's all good.
Yep.
I love making lists during the day. Like the first thing whenever I'm done making a list, the last thing is make a list, so I can check it off and I'm already getting stuff done.
Nice.
Yeah.
You do that with chores and when you have things you have to do like that?
Yes.
Yep.
I make a list.
It's fun.
And if I get everything done, sometimes I get like some Legos for a little treat.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like a kid all over again.
Awesome. So yeah, that actually was my first question. So now we have nothing else to talk about.
No, thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. You've been on my other show that I do with Ariel. And yeah, that was fun. We'll have you on again sometime soon. We need to do an 80s playlist with all three of us.
I'm ready to go.
Me too. I think we all have our list made.
Sure.
All right, so that's one that, I'm wondering, you mentioned this to me off the air earlier a little bit. So you have a daughter that is a year and a half?
Yesterday, she's a year and a half. Her name's Betty.
Oh, yesterday she was. Nice.
Yeah, yesterday.
And so, so what are her favorite movies, you'd say?
So she has a few right now. She loves The Iron Giant, which was a big one, which is a movie I really enjoy, so I'm glad she likes that one. It's funny because we would show her movies and she wouldn't really care for a long time, and then she's just kind of getting into it, where she can focus a little bit longer. And she's seeing what's going on, and we're trying to be like, are we good parents and not having our kid watch movies all day? Man? You got to find the balance.
Yeah.
But I had The Iron Giant on one day because I like it, and she was just like glued to it. She loved that movie.
Nice.
So,
how often when you show a movie does she not care? Like, are there lots of movies you try to show her?
There's some movies right from the get she wants nothing to do with it. Other ones she'll watch it for like 20 minutes and then, stick with it. But Iron Giant, she loves it. I don't know exactly what it is, but it was also really cute because it was the first time she saw something on TV and mimicked it. The kid teaches the Iron Giant to make a funny face, like put his hands up on his head and go blah 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 blah, and so Betty starts doing that, turn around whenever they do it, blah 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 blah. It's great.
That's awesome.
So that movie will have a special place in my heart.
That's awesome
for doing that.
Yeah.
So she loves that. She loves scary movies. So Iron Giant, it's not that scary, but my nephews watched it with her, and they're like 10. We can't watch this. It's too scary. It's not that bad. It's a kids movie. So she likes Monsters Inc., Monsters University, Toy Story. And Moana is the big one right now. All those movies have kind of some scary parts in them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
I know they're kids' movies, but
Moana has that big like fire.
Yeah,
island.
She's spooky.
Guy. Yeah. And the third Toy Story is tough. That one.
She hasn't seen that one yet. Okay, we're still on one.
Okay.
With the creepy kid.
Oh yeah, that one.
And the creepy toys.
Yep. Totally. The third. Have you seen the third one?
Oh yeah.
That was one where I watched it and it was like I teared up, and then the drive home, I was with my mom, and I was like starting to talk about it. I started tearing up again. I was like, nope, can't talk about this movie ever. The end was just, it was like, I don't want to know, it's been out for a while, so I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's got a super dramatic, like, holy crap moment where it's like, is this really going to happen? And then
it's heavy for a kid's
It's really
movie.
heavy. And then at the end, it's like super bittersweet.
Yeah.
And I
think Gina's still crying about that one too.
Yeah.
She had a hard time. Funny, I mean, I've only cried at one movie.
Wait, really?
Yeah, one movie's really got me. And it's a kid's movie.
Do you remember Was it when you were a kid?
No, it happened like last year.
Okay. Was it your first time seeing it?
Yes.
Is it a new movie?
Yes. New within the last year or two.
I'm trying to think of what new movies came out that.
It's the only time I've ever cried in a movie, and it made me cry. Dory? It made me cry twice.
Finding Dory?
Nope.
Yeah, I talked to some people our age who have cried during that. I have no idea.
Inside Out.
Okay, that's yeah.
Did you see that movie?
No, this is why. Since Toy Story 3, Pixar movies are just they're all good. They're too tough for me to watch. It's like I can when I'm never really in the mood to really get that emotionally involved in a movie.
Yeah, I didn't watch this movie because I thought it would be dumb. I was like, I have zero interest in seeing this movie. I think the premise is silly. I'm not going to be into it. And then here's me halfway in the movie crying like, oh no.
That makes me want to do a list sometime where it's movies I've cried the most at. Because I've cried movies.
Yeah.
Like I watched The Big Sick the other day. I cried some. The movie that I think Forrest Gump made me cry a lot. And it's just a lot of times it's the kind of bittersweet. Like
sure.
Movies where Robin Williams plays a serious part. He can make me cry real easily. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna give everything away, but it's just Inside Out. It's like this total. It's a total like I want to say it's not a loss of childhood, but it's that moment when you're not a kid anymore, and you're growing up, and all the emotions that go with that. It's like all these things I haven't thought about in 15, 20 years.
Yep.
And you're like, I remember exactly how that felt. Like when her imaginary friend goes away. His name's Bing Bong.
Okay.
But when Bing Bong goes away, I lost it.
Okay.
And I didn't even have an imaginary friend. It was just like that loss of innocence and child. I'm like, no, Bing Bong, come back. It sounds so silly saying it.
No, but no.
This character
totally
Bing Bong.
Yep.
And then then that scene at the end of the movie, it's just like, dang, that movie got me good.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, Pixar movies that I haven't there are a bunch of Brave I want to see that's gonna be too tough for me. Inside Out. There's the dinosaur one that came out, which
I didn't see that one. I'm sure I'll be seeing them all.
Yeah. Yep.
With the kiddos.
Mm-hmm. So today, I don't know if I mentioned yet, but we're going to go through movies that are our most memorable movies from our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we come to each one, I'm curious to see if you've shown Betty yet and what she thinks. And
we've tried. I keep telling Gina, like, when can I show this movie to me? When can I show her this one? When can I show this one? And she's like, well, Friday the 13th, maybe she can.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but not really. Yeah. And we can wait a little bit later on that one.
Well, I think like you and I both, we saw like kind of scary movies and some R-rated movies pretty early.
My very first movie memory, my dad took me to go see Predator.
Okay, nice.
Scared the willies out of me.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad. That's why I am the way I am.
It's so it's tough to know. Like for me, I'm like, I don't know. When I saw Terminator, like when I was probably a few years old, I'm like, I was just fine. Yeah. It was intense, I guess, but I don't know.
I remember that movie.
So I just don't know, though.
Yeah, that movie was on TV, and I was a little kid. It was on TV, so it was an edited version, I guess, and it was Terminator 1 when he's running around at the end. Terminator's in, his skin's all been burned off, and he's a robot walking around. And I remember watching it and thinking, oh, my dad would not be okay if I was watching this right now. I should not be watching this. And so I changed the channel, and I'll never forget. I changed the channel, and it was Friday the 13th, Part 7. The scary part where he's in the lake and he wakes up and you see his creepy face and he's like chained to the ground under the water. I'm like, he would really not want me to be watching this either. So I turned it back to Terminator. I'm like, this isn't as bad as the other one. So I watched. It was the first time I saw Terminator.
Nice. Yeah. There were a few things when I was a little kid on TV that freaked me out. Like I just couldn't watch it. I'd leave like the house basically. Was Michael Jackson's Thriller video when he became the werewolf at the beginning.
That's spooky. John Landis did that.
Yep. And then when the intro to the Incredible Hulk TV show, because in the intro he turned into the Hulk.
When he turns into Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the third thing I remember, I don't know what it was from, but I remember this stuck with me. It's like one of the scariest things ever for me. It's going to sound so lame, but turn on the TV and the volume was way up already. Mm-hmm. Turned it on. It was a video of a volcano erupting. And for some reason, it just like looked super violent and it was super loud. And I just freaked out and started screaming and running out of the room. And for some reason that sticks with me, and for some reason
Volcanoes.
I felt like talking about it. Yeah.
Maybe that's why Moana was kind of scary. The lady's living in a volcano. The scary lady. No, the scariest things for me, were I remember watching some documentary in like 3rd grade about asteroids hitting the Earth. And everyone's gonna die. I didn't realize that it's like a hypothetical thing. I thought it was real. Oh yeah. And I remember just crying and being so scared. And every night my mom and dad like, it's not gonna happen. Well, I mean, it might, but it's never gonna happen. Don't worry about it. Yep. Spooky. Asteroids and volcanoes. There you go.
All right, so
it's going to be hard to not keep going off tangents.
Exactly, yeah, but that's fine. That's okay. We have plenty of time. We have 50 minutes left. A couple things I wanted to go over real quick. Like this is an important news show. A couple of kind of news items. I'm curious what your thoughts are. So you're wearing a Terminator shirt.
Yes, this is
already mentioned Terminator.
This is the Terminate Hate shirt. If you go to we'll do a quick plug for my friend Arnold Schwarzenegger here. He has if you can find it from his Facebook page, but he's doing a fundraiser for the what's the Wiesenthal Foundation. It's a Jewish anti-hate foundation. That with all the turmoil and upheaval going on in the U.S., you can go on and donate some money to this anti-hate group with Arnold, and he'll send you a shirt. Cool. It's got him as the Terminator with flowers on his gun and a heart in his eye. It says Terminate Hate. I
don't want to get too political, but he's been doing a lot of good stuff. I liked a lot of stuff he's been doing lately.
Me too.
A lot of stuff he's been saying.
That's pretty political.
Very political.
We'll leave it at that.
A guy's doing good stuff. Yeah. You could mention anything about a politician and you just people
blah, 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 blah. News. Let's go back to the news.
Talk about Terminator. So they announced they're going to make another Terminator movie. Yes. Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton are going to be in it.
And James Cameron is involved.
Oh, yep.
I don't know if he's directing or he's producing or what.
I don't think so. Yep. I'm curious. I've never asked you this. I might be the only person in the world who actually likes Terminator Genesis. Did you like Terminator Genesis? The last one?
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't hate it. I wasn't too hot on the idea of John Connor being bad. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, the copy John. I don't know. That wasn't my favorite storyline that they could have done, but
okay. For me, after Terminator Salvation, I was happy to see them kind of go back to the original story in a way.
I love that.
And then the way that they use the time travel and just the way that the original story, how it changed. I thought it was really cool.
It was really cool to go. Yeah. I mean, they shot those Terminator 1 redo scenes perfectly.
Yep.
I mean, they even had Nike remake the exact shoes. They haven't made since the 80s. They had someone go remake them. Yep. So they could have continuity with there. But, dude's running around like, where's Michael Biehn? I know he's like 60 something years old now, so he can't play young races anymore. But it was cool. I do like that's the whole thing about the Terminator is like you can probably argue with like theoretical physicists about the time travel paradoxes and timelines
every movie
in that movie, and no one would ever get it. Everyone would have their own interpretation. There's so many different ways to do it, but it's always fun to think about. I love thinking about that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. And I loved that. Wasn't it in Terminator Genesis where I bring it up, I don't remember it that well, where he kind of over the years where he kind of hid out was over in the Marin Headlands.
Yeah.
I just love that. I was like, oh, cool.
He's hiding like in the Nike silo bunkers in the Headlands.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. They just put him in like sleep mode in the mountain by Mount Tam.
His hair got a little gray, and then
just aging.
So I like that. The movie wasn't perfect, but when because now they're basically ignoring that.
They're ignoring all of it.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be like a continuation of 2.
Right. And so
I hope they make that clear to people, because I'm glad they're doing it. They're exploring the timelines, but it's always kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Just forget what we did since 1993. All the movies after that, forget them.
Kind of a bummer, because I like Terminator 3 and I like Genesis. Salvation I was bored with, but I don't think it was horrible. It just was
horrible. Salvation was cool just to see the rotted out Terminators, Century Terminator, just like the actual like weapon worlds of the Terminator was cool to see.
Yeah.
Didn't have much story going on.
Exactly. So that actually that kind of is related to the next thing I want to mention ignoring sequels, new Halloween movie.
Yeah.
That Danny McBride and his co-writer are writing, which is...
I saw that.
Which...
John Carpenter's producing,
awesome.
too.
Yep, and it's going to have Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
It's like she's not dead anymore.
Right,
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh, but because that's the thing there, this is a continuation of the second one, apparently.
Yeah.
They're ignoring all the other ones.
Yes.
So is it H2O? It like happens at the beginning of the movie. Or H2O or Resurrection is one of them where...
Resurrection.
Yeah.
Where he kills her with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
When yep. Of all the ones to kill off the main character, it's the Busta Rhymes led vehicle of Halloween. That's the only Halloween movie I never finished. I watched like the first half and I was like, this is so bad.
There are a few I haven't seen. The first two I like a lot. And I like the remakes too, the Rob Zombie ones. But
they were like shocking when they came out. And I tried watching them again recently. And it's kind of tough.
Okay.
It's tough.
Okay.
I'm not going to say they're unwatchable, but man, it's like he's really going for the all-out shocker effect on those movies.
Which doesn't,
And Michael Myers was too big. Michael Myers was supposed to be like a normal sleek person. In those movies, they had him like a Jason. He was huge.
That's a good point.
A huge lumbering, rotted out person. That's Jason Voorhees territory.
But they do this with a bunch of horror movies where the monster becomes. He starts like the first one. He was a guy, he was a person, and then by I think like the fourth Halloween or something, even the end of the second one, he's basically invincible.
Yeah,
he gets like
shot a bunch of times.
Yeah, shot in the face, and all that happens is he can't see out that eye. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
after the first movie, which takes place right before the second movie, like if you can watch him as one whole movie. Yeah, he gets stabbed in the eye with a coat hanger. He gets shot a bunch of times. It's like no big deal. Yeah. So
it's still fun to watch, but it takes away. It doesn't make it. It's no longer scary. I bet.
Well, that's when they go in from like, here's our movie to test our concept into it's full on slasher realm.
Yep.
Slasher realms. That's the whole thing about slashers. It's based in reality, but everything's not real at all. Like those sorority parties, people don't really party like that. This is any party I went to. Maybe I didn't get invited to the right parties. I love slasher movies, horror movies. I mean, that's where it's at.
So speaking of slasher movies, let's talk about movies from our childhood.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
Jump into it? All right. So, let's just get started. So, first thing I just want to, when we go through the list, just kind of want to know why it's memorable for you.
Sure.
And maybe a brief synopsis just so people who haven't seen it will know what we're talking about. And I'm also curious if you think those movies are very influential and what kind of movies they may have influenced.
Sure.
We can talk about that.
Like influential to me, but to movies in general.
Yeah, just curious because sometimes it's fun to try to trace back, but we can see. Some of them might not be obvious at all.
Yeah.
So do you want to start off with one of them?
Just should we stick with the horror movies as we're talking
about?
You
can just
I can go wherever I want.
Wherever you want. Yeah.
All right. So I graduated. I got my bachelor's degree in film and cinema. I love movies. That's what that's always been my thing. Love them. There's a lot of movies that inspired me to take that route. The Terminator movies were a big one, but I think we talked about those already enough. So we're gonna go past turns. But that was James Cameron's one of my favorite directors. Not necessarily his bigger movies like Titanic and Avatar. Well, they're great, but his older ones like Terminator 1 is amazing. The Abyss, I love that movie.
Yeah. Do you like the Piranha movie?
Piranha 2?
That he is credited as the director, but he basically says that it's not his movie. He's like that.
I think he was like there and like, oh, he was there. Let's put his name on it.
I think he like took over. I think the director got fired. Then
and he did
he was like the cinematographer, something like that.
He did reshoots or something. Yeah, got the title credit. Yeah, he's made some good movies.
Well, which Terminator do you like more, first or second?
I have to by default say Terminator 2. I mean, that's my favorite movie of all time. I have a tattoo of it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's I think is until that was my favorite action movie of all time. There's like Last Action Hero is close.
Good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. I think it's very underrated. But Terminator 2 and it's a newer movie, John Wick 2. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen the second one.
Okay, the first one I like. The second one
better.
I think it's much better. And I like the first one a lot. Yeah. The second one, the action is insane. It's just
the first one was so pretty cool. Insane.
Yeah, the second one I think is really cool. But Terminator movies are great.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's just like it came out at that time when we were like John Connor's age in that movie. Excuse me. So we were pretty darn close within a year or two of what he was going through. So I think it was a little bit more relatable for us as young boys. But it's like God, I would often fantasize. I was like, how cool would it be to have my own Terminator? He's got to do everything I say and have your own Arnold Terminator following you around. Wow, how cool is that?
I was probably thinking like, oh, this is so terrifying. I'm happy I'm not in that world with Terminators. But
yeah, that too. I'm glad the 2000's not after me.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I think for me, Terminator 2 is on my list too. That one is just a
great movie,
yeah.
And it's that, and I think the Alien movies with Sigourney Weaver, strong female characters. Even though Sarah Connor's a little crazy in that one, but I'm excited that Linda Hamilton's back because, nowadays Arnie and Stallone and Van Damme, all those guys have been making new action movies with the Expendables and stuff. But I think we need to revamp some Sigourney Weaver Aliens and Linda Hamilton Terminator and get the older, strong women back on board.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I think it was like the second and third Expendables, they should have had some of those characters in there.
Yeah, they had Ronda Rousey, but
right.
You get Sigourney Weaver or Linda Hamilton. How cool would that? How cool would that would have been? Bridget Nielsen.
Oh yeah.
You know she's crazy right now. I don't know she's crazy. I don't know her.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, guys think of Red Sonja. Another Arnold movie.
Yeah. She was in the last thing I saw was the Surreal Life on VH1. With her and Flavor Flav.
Yeah, that's maybe not so much.
All right. It's a good choice, definitely. All right, I'm going to go with the obvious ones for me.
My wife said, you love old ladies. I love you too.
I'm going to go with the obvious one for me, the Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah, I know you go with Ghostbusters.
The first one I think is the best, but
yeah,
they both combined. They just are my favorite movies. And the
what's
cartoons I loved, like the action figures, I still have that whenever I see something with a Ghostbusters logo, I still want to buy it.
Yeah.
I collect the comics, even though I don't read most of them. And I
love Legos, and they have the Lego Ghostbuster house, but it's so expensive.
It is so expensive. I have the Ecto one, but I don't.
Yeah, I have the car.
Yeah.
One day I'll get the.
Yeah.
We'll share it. We can
each make half, and
we'll each make half, and then we can borrow it. Like 1 month I get it, 1 month you get it.
And they have the Playmobil Ghostbusters now too. And those are cool, but also expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably even on.
Who's your favorite Ghostbuster?
It changes, but probably Ray.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd in those movies, I think, is just. They're all great.
And he gets seduced by a ghost in that one too.
Yeah, he does. It's the weirdest scene. Apparently, there was more stuff that went with that they cut.
That was already pretty racy for a...
Oh yeah, but like there's things that like made it more sense, so it didn't seem as out of place.
Like they'd been flirting throughout the movie.
Yeah,
or something
like that. I think.
Instead of showing up.
So that was easily the weirdest part of those movies. Yeah, easily the weirdest part. I
think.
But when I was a little kid, I didn't know what was going on.
Sure. Rick Moranis is excellent in that movie too.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah,
he's so good.
And that was originally I read that John Candy was going to be that part, but then can't remember exactly what changed it. But
he did a great job.
He did.
What's his name? Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis Tully. Yeah. Yeah,
that keeper. You the key master.
Yeah.
Come on, that's awesome. I put those in your wedding vows
awesome.
for you and Earl.
Or not vows, but
whatever.
The
wedding things.
Yeah. Those movies I just love.
Yeah.
Yep. There's not much more to say.
Did you see the new one?
I did.
I haven't seen it yet.
I have mixed feelings. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, I like it. It's good. I watched it again. I went, oh, that wasn't very good. And I watched it again. I went, oh, it's not bad. I think it depends on my mood. I don't know. It's not. I like the characters a lot, and I think I want another one with those characters, but maybe a different writer.
Sure.
I don't know. Like I like a lot of Paul Feig stuff, and I think he's good, but I don't know if I thought it was like too silly or something. It just didn't. It wasn't.
I still need to watch it just for the, because it's Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's worth watching, definitely. Yeah.
Good.
All right, cool. What do you have next?
All right, another one of my favorite movies of all time. I cannot wait to show this one to Betty. Oh, yeah. We're waiting a little bit longer, but I know this is another favorite of yours, but I knew it probably on both of our lists, but The Goonies.
Goonies is on my list, yes. It's not what I'm going to mention because I was pretty sure you'd mention it.
Yeah, that's why I had backups too, but
yeah.
All around great movie.
Yeah, so the scene that sticks out, there are a bunch of things that stick out. It has a bunch of good lines and weird things, but when they have I can't believe I forgot the character's name. The Truffle Shuffle
Chunk.
guy. Yeah, Chunk. When they capture him and they have the blender and they're threatening to put his hand in the blender and he's admitting all these things he did as a kid.
Yeah.
So funny.
I was reading when I was listening to this that he was like, he was making some stuff up, but all the characters he's talking about, like, I think his sister says like Edie and my Uncle Frank or something like that. Those are his real sister and uncle.
Oh, really?
He was, I think, kind of telling real stories that he did. Richard Donner, the director, allowed the kids to do a lot of
that's awesome
improvising.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you can see because it feels like they're just people talking.
Yeah, and the movie too. That movie got when they were making it, they didn't even have the script done.
Oh, okay.
They were just like, we got to get started with this. There was reshoots or rewrites every night, so sometimes the kids wouldn't get the script until the morning.
Oh, wow.
And they're kids.
Yeah.
It's not like, you can't have them like, okay, so sit down in your trailer and study these lines for an hour because you're going to have to work all day on these lines we just gave you. So I think a lot of them were like, we got to get to here in the story. So let's improvise a little bit. But it makes sense because they're talking like kids. They talk like they would. It's not, exactly, doesn't seem forced. And there's a good amount of S words in that movie.
Yeah.
You can say that on the air. Good amount of that for a kid's movie.
And there's little... Yeah, there are things where they're talking and they make little mistakes when they're talking and people kind of tease them and they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, the little things that just seem so... It just grounds it in reality. And it so feels like they're actually on an adventure that...
And it's got one of the coolest characters of all time, Sloth.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, is he a bad guy? No. He just wants to be one of the Goonies.
Yeah.
He's just misunderstood. He's a kid in a deformed, disabled man's body.
Yeah.
But
because the first scene with him, it's like terrifying.
Yeah.
And then so quickly they make it so he's super likable.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, he's...
Yeah, he's played by John Matuzak. He used to be a linebacker for the Raiders.
Yep.
Big dude.
He was in Weird Science, I think, and I'm sure he's been
in a couple other things. Yeah, he died, I think, in the late 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Mama Fratelli.
Yep.
Great bad guy. Who's the main bad guy? This old Italian woman. She's going to be the main bad guy.
That has no redeeming qualities. Like, pretty much every other, like, the other villains... At some point, they kind of show like
the Fratelli
their humanity.
brothers.
Yeah. And there's like one of them, I think. When they're doing the blender scene, just one of them goes like, "I'm starting to like this kid."
Exactly. Yeah, and the mom the whole time, she's literally gonna kill like 6 kids to get some money.
Yep.
You're gonna murder little kids. Yep. So you can get some money. It's terrible. Maybe treasure. You don't even know if it's under there.
Mm-hmm. Have you been up to Astoria?
I have not. I need to go.
On our honeymoon, Errol and I went up there.
He brought me home a doubloon.
Oh, yeah.
The little map thing.
Yeah.
Still have it.
And it was fun to see because, the jail at the beginning of the movie is now a museum, like a film museum. Cool. And they have a cool thing where you go in and they have like a green screen and you go in and they have the lines up for like a scene. And you act it out, and then you go watch it in front of the green screen with the effects and stuff. Yeah, it's fun.
They filmed another favorite kid movie of mine there, Kindergarten Cop.
Yep.
Yeah,
another great one.
That was like the Hollywood in Oregon for a decade there.
Free Willy also.
Yeah, in the 80s and into the early 90s. And Kindergarten Cop's good, and that's not on my list, but great movie.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Goonies.
Great one.
Can't wait to show that to Betty.
Yeah, that's a tough one to know when it's the right age.
It's because of Sloth.
It's got creepy weird stuff like the skeletons and they're just in danger a lot, but the whole time there's always some humor.
There's humor and there's a lot of adventure.
Yeah.
A lot of adventure. But it's kind of creepy, yeah. And to just have like a normal old lady be so rotten.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of scary too.
Yep. All right, let's go to
your pick. All
right, I'm gonna go with Spaceballs. Which most of the Mel Brooks movies from them, like Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights, like History of the World Part 1. I think those are the main ones. So Spaceballs,
Blazing Saddles
I like, but I think
these are for you. Main ones. For you.
Yeah, but Blazing Saddles is probably his most famous. Yeah. But for me, that was, I think, Spaceballs was just because I loved Star Wars and Star Trek as a kid. I would get so excited to watch that movie. Like, we'd have like my cousins over and they'd be like, "What do you guys want to do? We're gonna watch a movie," and I'd always say Spaceballs, and I just was so excited to show it to people who hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
And when I was young,
I think the first time I saw it was with you. You showed it to me.
Yeah, probably. It was just, everything was so funny to me when I was a kid and I saw it.
Well, the guy's name's Barf.
Yeah.
That's great.
And it had Rick Moranis in it from Ghostbusters. Yeah. And I watched it. I showed it to Ariel, who's never seen it. My wife Ariel, as you know from the
mixtape.
Yep. And like a couple years ago. And if you if you see it for the first time now, when you're like in your late 20s,
it's too late.
Yeah, watching it with her, I was like, it's not. I still like it.
Yeah,
but
this is childhood movies.
Yeah, watching it, she was just like, I just did not.
Gina and I watched it in the last couple of years too, as adults, and I was like, you gotta watch this movie. It's so good. And I remember watching, I'm like, all right, it's okay.
Yeah, it still has a bunch of really funny parts, but.
They've jammed our radar.
Yeah.
Goodbye, giant thing of jam.
Yep.
Like, wah. It's fun.
yeah. But it has like the stuff Rick Moranis when he's playing with, right? Yeah, and he's playing with the figurines. He's making them kiss and stuff. That is still really funny. And yeah. But yeah, a lot of the Mel Brooks things don't. For me, they have not aged great.
Sure.
But I still have a special part of my heart for them.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, they were so funny.
So fun. I know my dad. We would watch a lot of Mel Brooks movies. Blazing Saddles was a big one for him. And I remember as a kid, like, I don't get why it's that funny. Just like, I think it was like the first, like, we have like Seth Rogen and James Franco who make like funny, fart joke movies pretty much. But that was like Blazing Saddles was like a fart joke movie.
Yeah,
it's
got like the most famous fart joke ever. They're all eating beans.
But the whole kind of movie was just like irreverent and stupid, and it was one of the first like just dumb comedies like that. But you got Gene Wilder, and it's good.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say about that.
Gina texted me that Betty can watch Goonies at 7.
Oh, okay.
She's 7 years old. I think that's fair. That sounds a good time. Enough to spook her, just enough.
Yeah,
but, she'll see the end. She'll understand it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 7. You can come over. We'll watch Goonies.
Nice. I'll bring the cats.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going to go one of my top 3 favorite Tim Burton movies.
It's always fun to try to guess in my head before you say
my top 3.
Yeah, Tim
Burton.
Tim Burton. I'm going to guess your top 3 are Edward Scissorhands.
Yep.
Beetlejuice.
Yep. And this is the one that you're not getting. Of course. So those are my 2. Number 3.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yes.
There we go.
Pee-wee's Big. You know me so well. I love that. I love Pee-wee Herman.
Yeah,
I love everything about him. He's great. I grew up with Pee Wee Herman. I watch Pee Wee Herman with Betty now. I have
Oh, nice.
He's on Netflix, but I have all the DVDs of Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Oh yeah.
She laughs. She gets it.
There are a few things in there that creeped me out a little bit when I was young.
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
People just walking in his house all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Well, it's his playhouse, but it's a good show. There's some weird stuff. The genie,
Yeah, that
living in there.
Really freaked me out. Yeah.
He's kind of scary looking.
Yeah. That. Yep.
But it's now as an adult watching Pee Wee's Playhouse and Pee Wee's Big Adventure, it's cool to see the big change that they made because, Tim Burton if I was my age then thinking, oh, Tim Burton's going to do Pee Wee's Playhouse, it's going to be crazy. He's going to make this insane. And then they bring Pee Wee into the real world.
Yeah.
And it's like a real world movie, which was nice to see. Now that I'm older, I'm like dying to see a Pee Wee's Playhouse movie. Because they never made one. It's close.
I still haven't watched the holiday one. It
was awesome.
Yeah, I need to watch it. Good. I just keep forgetting.
It's not as good as Big Adventure. It's different, but I loved it.
Nice.
that was a movie that I was watching with my brother Casey, and we were laughing so hard, and Gina was trying to sleep, and that was a tough one. Sorry, Gina. we thought it was so funny, and we watched it. She's like, I mean, it's good, but I don't understand why you guys were laughing so much. I think it's because we've been drinking.
Okay. Helps.
But there's some great jokes in that movie. And his buddies, Joe I can never say it.
Right.
Magliano. They just become buddies and road trip it together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll watch
good
that.
Movie. But Pee-wee's Big Adventure, it's awesome. I mean, I think another movie I have on here, I love a good road trip movie.
Oh, me too.
Maybe I love a bad road trip movie.
Let me see if I have any. I don't know if I have any road trip movies on my list. I don't think so. I have time travel movies.
Yeah, I love time travel.
Yeah.
But road trip movies, it's just so fun because it's like it's a tangible thing you can do with your buddies. And look at all this, like, they just got to do something easy. And people got to go find his bike, but all the adventures that happen along the way. Just, what's not to like?
I agree.
And Large Marge
scared
me as a kid.
Yep. Goes in the truck.
Yeah.
That part.
That's spooky.
It is.
Ooh, face. Yeah. It's funny. There's where they go when I forget the lady's name. His kind of lady friend that he befriends who works in the diner. She goes to France. No, not Dottie. That's his girlfriend. But girlfriend. The other lady, I forget her name. She goes to Paris and he gets her lead. But they go and they sit in the dinosaur. They sit in that giant dinosaur. That's in Utah.
Oh, really?
They have a couple of them, but there's one. I don't know if it's the same one, but it's in southern Utah. And I remember making my dad go out of the way on this road trip we were doing so we could go sit in Pee Wee Herman's dinosaur. He did it. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks. Cool. I like that.
Yeah, love Pee Wee.
All right. Here we go to my next one. This is my go-to feel-good movie. If I watch a movie that's really sad or depressing or something like that, or if I have trouble sleeping, it's my go-to Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year.
I don't think I saw that movie since it came out.
Yeah, that one, baseball one, about the kid who injures his arm.
He breaks his arm.
Yeah, and then now the tendon's healed in a weird way where he can pitch like over 100 miles per hour, and he's on the Cubs. That movie just had...
Did they win the World Series in that one?
Yes. They don't... They show him, like, I think, get to, like, the playoffs. They show him, and then at the very end... Spoiler alert, the movie's been out 20 years, but he goes and he's playing Little League again, and then he puts his hand up in the air and you see the World Series ring. I'm pretty sure that, yeah.
So he's playing Little League with a rocket arm, or his arm heals or something?
His arm, during the game, he slips and falls during the game to get into the playoffs. Can't throw. Yeah, so he has to be creative and do other things. But that movie is just... I just think the whole movie is just feel good.
I might have positive, to rewatch it. I remember watching it when it came out.
And it's funny, and the characters are likable.
Are there any stars in that movie?
Yes, Gary Busey. he's a likable character. He's
a good guy in it.
Yep. He starts out as kind of like he's the old veteran pitcher who's like, everyone leave me alone.
Sure.
But then he ends up being kind of the kid's mentor.
Like a good Kenny Powers.
Yeah,
but not at all.
Yeah. There are other people you recognize, but I can't remember names.
Gary
Busey.
Now. That's all I need to hear. That's good.
And it has still one of my favorite scenes in movie history. There's a scene where he goes... I don't want to spoil it because if you're going to watch it soon, but he goes to the doctor.
I probably won't, so you can tell me.
Oh, no, he goes to the doctor, and this is when they figure out that his arm healed all weird, and it's the doctor's like, okay, they take the cast off, and he's like, okay, rotate your arm, and he puts his arm up, and then his arm shoots down real quick and slaps the doctor in the face, and the doctor just says, funky butt lovin'.
Oh yeah.
And then his friend goes, did he just say funky butt lovin'? And that was just
Is Chris Elliott in that movie?
No. It's Daniel Stern. Yes, he's the pitching
coach.
Yeah, pitching coach. Yep. And he's great in it too. He keeps getting trapped in places.
Yeah, I love Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have been in more movies.
Yeah. He was in he's been in a bunch of classics. The Home Alone movies.
Yeah.
Wonder Years, he had the voice.
Yeah.
City Slickers.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, him and Billy Crystal.
Yep. Bushwhacked.
I was gonna say Bushwhacked. That was like Stuart's favorite movie or Chris's favorite movie for a minute when we were in high school.
I think Stuart loved it a lot.
Either that or was it Camp Nowhere? I think
Camp Nowhere also. But both those are ones he's like.
He was in a little he was in a camp movie phase, huh?
Yep.
Comedy camp.
Yeah. Camp Nowhere is fun. I watched that a few months ago.
Yeah.
Still good.
Was he into Troop Beverly Hills?
I don't think so. That was Goldie Hawn? No.
I don't remember.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sure. I don't think I've seen it. I think my mom likes it.
Well, we've seen it. I think Gina put that. We have that on DVD. We've seen it. She puts that one on. That's a favorite of hers.
Nice. All right. Do you want to do a couple more?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So what do you got next?
So we'll keep it on road trip movies. So we're talking about Pee Wee's. This came out, I guess, you're still, childhood movies count when you're like 10 or 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that however you want to interpret it? Yeah. I think Rookie of the Year came out, we were probably around like 10 or 11.
Sure. This came out when the first time I saw, I think I was in 6th grade. 5th or 6th grade, but best road trip movie of all time. It was critically panned and hated. It's done very well in the DVD and cable world. Tommy Boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was panned?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it got like 1 star. Great. Yeah, it's awesome. Everything about that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
And then it's got Dan Aykroyd in it.
Yep.
Ray Zelinsky.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first movie this joke that is in like every dumb comedy now that's going to leave a mark. I think that's the first time I saw that.
Yeah,
when
that's going to leave a mark in Holy Shnikes. That was all improv. That was when I was reading about the movie before the show here, and they were both SNL guys, Chris Farley and David Spade, and they had good chemistry doing skits and stuff together. So they sold the movie without a script.
Oh,
like, we're just going to make a movie with just two of us, or good, good buddy comedy. They wanted to make not a Western, but a Midwestern. Nice. So it is.
It feels very Midwest.
I've never lived in the Midwest, but I imagine it being a lot like things in that, still, like things in that movie. But, they started the movie with 30 pages of a script. That was it. I don't know how much of it made it in there still. The screenwriters who got the finishing stuff on it were the people who did Third Rock from the Sun.
Okay.
And they did another popular TV show, comedy, that was successful. But, yeah, they pretty much let David Spade and Chris Farley improv. So I was reading about all the lines that are improv in it.
Oh, yeah?
It's like almost a whole movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Almost the whole movie is improv between those two guys. Like, I guess they knew the plot points they had to hit, but to get there, all of David Spade's little one-liner jokes.
And they're great. That's
Does this suit make me look fat? No, but your face does.
Yeah.
Love that line.
Yep, that's great. And when they're looking at he's like, I can't find, they're looking at a map while they're driving. He's like, oh, I can't remember exactly what he says, but of course I'm going to say it anyway. He goes like, oh, where's Idiot? Idiot's right here. And he points right at Chris Farley. That's a great movie. That just enough of like kind of like the silly weirdness where a few scenes where it gets a little odd, but not enough.
The car crash, the fake car, whatever.
Yeah.
The deer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely out there, but that's a feel good movie for me. It always makes
definitely
is. It's a good one. Chris Farley's character is the best. So it's so sad he passed on that. And when he made that movie, he was our age now.
Oh wow.
I watched the movie, I thought he was older than that, but no, he was 31, 32 when he made that movie. Then he died like a year or two later. But he got totally clean and sober to make that movie because it was his first big break, and he wanted to do a big movie, and that was it. He made a good one.
Yep.
I watch it all the time.
Then they did Black Sheep. Kind of tried to recreate that, which is still fun. But
my brother Casey is obsessed with that movie right now. Yeah. Every time he comes over to my house, he's like, let's watch Black Sheep. I'm like, just watch it. He's like, let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. I'm like, all right. He loves that movie.
It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. Yeah, it's not as good as Tommy Boy.
That's Gary Busey also, isn't it? In that?
Yeah, he plays the creepy guy in the woods. Yeah. Rob Lowe's the bad guy in the first one, but he's not credited in the movie.
Really? Oh, okay.
I guess he was filming the Stand TV show or something at the time.
All right.
I guess legal contractual obligations said he couldn't be working on other projects, so he had to do it uncredited.
Oh, weird.
Maybe he's the main bad guy.
Yeah.
That's like Ben Stiller in Heavyweights. It's another good movie. Yeah, he's uncredited in that, but he's the main bad guy.
I didn't know that either. And then his dad's in it too. I read Rob Lowe's autobiography, and he was talking about Tommy Boy basically resurrected his career. He kind of was like, oh, now he became like a comedy kind of villain. Like he did Wayne's World, or was it Wayne's World? I don't remember which one came first, but one of those. He did Tommy Boy and Wayne's World, and those are two big ones. I think a lot of people our age, that's how they know Rob Lowe from. That's
I don't really know him from his stuff before, but he's more famous for. Mm-hmm. I know some from his
St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah, that's. I can't name any other one. I know he's been in huge movies.
Yeah.
But I remember from like TV shows, he did like the Salem Slot TV show in The Stand, and then he did. But Tommy Boy's the number one.
Mm-hmm. All right, should we do one more each?
Sure.
Sound good? And then I have a few things I want to talk about. Then we'll go. I want to go through one more each, and then we can just quickly go through the rest of our list, or some of them. This is a not very well known one. Jetsons Meet the Flintstones, animated. I'm assuming it's straight to video. It's a VHS I got when I was real young, and I just watch it over and over again because it was like Jetsons went back in time, and then they switched with the Flintstones somehow, so they're in each other's worlds.
I don't know if I've seen it. I think I may have.
Yeah, if you don't have if you didn't like buy the VHS, then
you didn't have it.
Yeah. But it for me was like they can do that. They can take these two different shows and just mix them like that.
Like Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of things. This is the original Freddy versus Jason. Jetsons Meet the Flintstones. I did not know that was one of the first times where it's like, oh, they can do anything in movies, and it was just so cool. And every time I'd watch it over and over again, and it was like, that's so weird to imagine them in each other's worlds, and that's for some reason that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't really have much more to say about that. I haven't watched it in a while, and
well, that's a good point when you've realized they could do crossovers and do them well enough that you like them.
That's one that through many house cleanings where we get rid of VHS, that's one that's always survived.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever get rid of it.
Yeah. I don't have any more VHS, unfortunately. I probably would never watch them. Yeah. You should keep that one.
Yeah. I have that. I have Theodore Rex.
I don't know Theodore Rex.
No offense to anyone who made it, but it's unwatchable.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Please go.
Next one. Yeah. So would you rather talk? I have two.
You can talk about both. It's fine.
Let's do. We'll do one. This one will be quicker. Right. Masters of the Universe.
Yes. Another weird
movie.
Weird movie that if people say it's horrible, I can probably agree with everything they say, but I still love it.
That's a great way to say it. Anything bad you say about it, you're right. But everything good I say about it, I'm also right.
Yeah.
Love that movie. My dad makes fun of me still. He would take me to Video Time in Novato.
Oh yeah.
And my dad's a big movie guy too. He's the one who got me into all these goofy movies. But every single time I'd go there, I would rent Masters of the Universe. Every time. I don't know why. I'm like a 5-year-old kid. What does that movie have for a 5-year-old? Like, I love the cartoons. I love the toys.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren made a pretty hunky He-Man. I mean, he was great casting, I thought. Skeletor's awesome.
Yep.
They get, like, a serious actor to play Skeletor, Frank Langella.
And
it's Courtney Cox's first movie.
Yeah. And they had, I haven't watched it in a while, but the device that they used that made the
cosmic
music,
key.
Basically, that thing, the sounds it made and stuff
was
were
awesome.
so cool. Yeah.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the character's Gildor, a little guy, and the principal from Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the bald guy who's been... That's two big movies for me. I remember, man. He's great in it. Mm-hmm. Love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I think they're doing another one.
I've heard that they're redoing it closer to the cartoons. Yeah. But I don't know. To me, that's one of those ones when it's on TV, it's not on that much anymore, but I'll always watch it.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's one of those where someone tells you it's kind of like the Mario Brothers movie where you take something that's so well known and you completely take it out of what it's...
You change everything about it that makes it well known.
Yeah. But as little kids, it's like...
It's still He-Man.
Yeah, like it's hard to judge those movies now because when I was a little kid, it was just, there's something I like in it and it's a movie, I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
So I probably would still be entertained if I watch it now.
I just watched it recently. It was great.
Is that one that Betty has seen?
No.
Oh.
That would be kind of boring for her, I think.
You had to really be into
scary
He-Man. Things.
There's some scary things. The other one, I think this would be a good one to end on then, is because we both love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep. That was actually the fifth thing on my list.
There you go.
For me, it's the first two movies.
Yeah.
And I think the first one's probably better, but I like the second one more.
As a kid, I like the second one more. It's more action.
Yep.
The bad guys there's Tonka and Razor.
Yeah.
There's more bad guys.
It's not as sad and dark.
That's going back to like He-Man being weird. That movie, like, totally different from the cartoons.
Oh,
the cartoons are all, they're joking around.
Yeah.
They'll joke a little bit. That movie's sad.
Yeah.
It's like Raphael almost dies and they're like in hiding in this country house.
Yep.
With April and Casey Jones trying to rehab him back to life and like going through all these like emotional breakdowns.
Yeah. I can't remember what I was listening to, but they were going like, basically saying, why would they make a Ninja Turtles movie and it's good, but then like they chose to have like one of the Ninja Turtles in a coma for a third of the movie. You know what I mean? It's just that's a weird choice, but yeah. Yep.
Or someone's sleeping in a bathtub.
No, it's Raphael. He's unconscious. He's basically in a coma.
Yeah.
Yep.
Raphael's your favorite. Are you done?
Yeah. Raphael.
Yeah, I'm a Michelangelo guy.
Yep.
But the second one's good. Vanilla Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Excuse me.
He's famous for Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah.
And then the guy in it, I don't know his name, but their human friend. He was great. He was in. Wasn't he in? Did he go and do Surf Ninjas? Oh
yeah. And he actually, I think, in one of the Ninja Turtles movies, he was one of the Ninja Turtles.
Yes,
I think the third one or something like that.
Yeah, and Corey Feldman's the voice of Donatello.
Yep.
I would have thought he would have been more like Michelangelo.
Yeah,
but Donatello, whatever. Still works. In the third one, I loved it when it came out.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it as an adult. It's probably terrible.
It's kind of taking the Ninja Turtles out of what makes them great.
Like feudal Japan, right?
Yeah, and it's weird, but it's still fun to watch. The second
one's great. All those like dirtbag kids stealing stuff.
Uh-huh.
I know I'm not a dirtbag stealing kid, but I wanted to go hang out in their clubhouse.
Oh, that in the first one, I think they.
Oh, that's the first one. That's the first.
No, the second one they had some too. They showed the training.
Arcades
but
everywhere.
The first one, the half pipes.
Yeah,
Sam Rockwell was one of them.
Yeah, he totally was. man, everyone's got to get their start somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And Ninja Turtles were great. I would love to. I haven't seen any of the new ones. Have you?
I saw the first new one. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
They're on Netflix. I just need to watch it out of.
There are parts I think you'll like.
Sure.
Yeah, there are parts you'll like, I think. But I pretty much everyone I've talked to who's seen it thinks it's really bad.
Yeah, I started watching a Ninja Turtles cartoon with Betty a while ago. She was kind of into it, so I might need to revisit that one.
I've heard it's good. The newer cartoon.
The old one.
The old one. That one's great too.
She was kind of into that.
I haven't watched it in a while, but
that show's great. They had such cool bad guys.
Yep.
Shredder, Krang.
Mm-hmm.
Any animal you could mutate.
Yep. There's just a few I just want to mention real quick, just because it'd be weird to not mention them. Star Wars movies.
Yes.
Back to the Future movies.
Yes, absolutely.
UHF for me. That's another one that's kind of like the Mel Brooks movies.
Yeah. That movie, I got that one a little bit later in life. I don't think I saw that until I was in high school.
I think I saw it when I was... Yeah, I know I saw it when I was a little kid, but that's great.
Great movie. I remember we used to watch that one a lot. When we lived in the city in our apartment, that movie was on. I was on a lot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any of the... I mentioned Last Action Hero. Most of the Schwarzenegger movies. I've got Beetlejuice.
Yeah, we grew up in a house of Arnold.
Yep. Yeah. There are more, but those are the main ones.
The ones I missed were Heavyweights.
Yep.
I reference it. Love Heavyweights. Predator.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the Arnold ones. And Halloween, Friday the 13th, all those slasher movies.
Yeah, those were a little too scary for me when I was really young.
Yeah.
Halloween, the first time I saw it freaked me out. Like it was when they're
Halloween, I'm cutting you off. Halloween, Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street. What's your favorite of the three?
Halloween.
Is that also the scariest of the three for you?
Yes, I think so. Friday the 13th, the first one doesn't really scare me.
No.
None of them scare me really now, but that one never really scared me. Nightmare on Elm Street definitely had scary parts. But Halloween, I think is the one of like, I can't think of any movies that are older than that are anywhere close to as scary.
It's scary, and it's more based in reality. The first, like, this could really happen.
Yeah,
a crazy guy could put on a mask and go, kill
and
your babysitter.
Following when they're walking home from school. It was terrifying.
It's creepy.
It was shot really well too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, we've got 10 more minutes. A few more things I wanted to do. I'll stick with the movies. I like our list. No big surprises.
Big surprises. Yeah.
We'll stick with movies. All right, I looked at the top grossing movies from 1985 to 1995 each year. I want you to give a one-word review for each movie.
One-word review? Yeah. Great.
All right, you ready? 85. So this is the top grossing film of each year.
Top grossing.
85, yeah, Back to the Future.
I didn't have one word?
Yeah.
Great Scott, that's 2 words.
That counts.
Okay.
Top Gun.
Schwing.
Okay. 3 Men and a Baby.
Hey. It's me and my brothers. Scary.
Okay. Rain Man.
Who's on first base? I can do one word. That's the word. Rain Man. Touching.
Okay, nice. Batman.
Just awesome.
Okay. Home Alone.
Kevin.
Terminator 2.
God. Religion.
I like that. Aladdin.
Oh. Cultural.
Perfect.
Cultural lightning.
Jurassic Park.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the first CG awesomeness.
Forrest Gump.
Jenny.
One more. Toy Story.
I can't do one word. Ahead of its time. He said one word.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Fine.
One word's hard.
Yeah, I put you on the spot, definitely.
Yeah, I just did quotes for half of them.
It was kind of like what word association? Like, what do you think of?
Yeah. Now that we're watching Toy Story a lot, it's amazing. Like when that came out, it was like, animation can never get better than this. This is the future.
Yep.
And now I watch, I'm like, whoa, this is pretty basic.
Oh, okay.
Person coming up. The story's still great.
But
it doesn't matter as long as you have a good story and strong characters. They could be black and white and stick figures. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not that basic, but it's a good story.
All right, so here's one. I like to do a thing on the show where we make a small list together.
Uh-huh.
And this is one where the premise is we're sending a mixtape to aliens.
Sure.
It's a short mixtape. It's only 5 songs. And we need a song from each. There are 5 genres: rock, metal, pop, hip-hop and rap, and then other, which is all the other genres mixed. We have to pick one band or artist from each genre that we think best represents that genre.
Cool.
So we're sending it to aliens out in space.
So they get their whole discography or just a song?
Discography would work too. Let's just say.
We'll just pick a band that best describes that.
Yeah, I didn't think
I'm
this
just
through that
getting
well.
to all the rules.
All right, so let's start with rock. Rock. Okay,
aliens have to hear one rock band from Earth.
Yeah, then what do we think best represents rock music? This is because metal is another category, so
sure.
Heavier stuff can go there. I think the ones that really like Beatles obviously are there. You could say Elvis, but I feel like his music wasn't as important.
And he hardly wrote any of his songs.
Yeah, and it is a lot of it is.
You know what Elvis?
Much more country
you know what Elvis was? How he would write a song?
How?
Someone would write the song. He'd go, "Put my name on that."
There we go.
Put my name on that. I wrote it too.
Yep.
I don't think Elvis. The Beatles. I know you're a huge Beatles fan.
Yeah.
I am. I mean, I like the Beatles.
Trying to think of what other rock bands we feel
like by default it'd be them, unless you wanted to go. I would pick them over the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And
it's like Pink Floyd.
Led Zeppelin could be there too.
Yeah. Okay, so one of them.
You can say the Beatles. I'll say Led Zeppelin.
All right, cool. Metal.
They could hear one metal band.
I think best represents
the genre.
Yeah. It's tough because you don't know if you want to go with something that influences a bunch of things.
I don't know if I go Black Sabbath.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Or something that you feel like represents what metal has become now.
I think I might go with Metallica.
That's a good choice.
Because their career spans a lot of different influences in metal. I think I go Metallica. I want to say Slayer because I like Slayer more. But after a while, those songs all kind of sound the same.
Yeah.
At least Metallica's got a lot going on.
I think that, and Black Sabbath, again, a lot of their stuff can
kind of melds
rock.
to this. Yeah.
You can say it's rock also.
I'm gonna say Metallica for me.
I think that's a good choice. I think I'm gonna copy you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pop. Okay, the ones that stick out: Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince. I'm
gonna probably for my wife's probably yelling, pick Prince.
Prince, I think I feel like Michael Jackson. I think just his song, like Prince has hits, but I don't think
Michael Jackson changed the world.
Exactly.
Maybe Michael Jackson.
I think Michael Jackson.
He's the king of pop.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't dethrone the king.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
And Prince wouldn't want him listening to his music. He's weird about his music royalties and rights. He'd be like, no.
That works. Rap hip hop.
I listen to a good amount, but I would.
Like, Eminem is like the best selling. But then you have. I don't know. This is a tough one.
Gina said Prince. It's Prince. Rap hip hop. I'm gonna probably go a little bit further back and say something like.
There's like Run DMC, NWA.
I'd say like NWA.
I think that probably is.
Because you got all the guys in there.
Yep. And
you got Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg wasn't in NWA.
No, he wasn't. Everybody. Ice Cube, Eazy-E.
Eazy-E. I think
NWA is NWA, even though they're, quite violent.
Yeah, but still, it kind of
defines the genre.
Yeah,
absolutely.
New level. All right. Then other. So we have all the other genres. We have country. You have like dance music. You have salsa. You have a lot. I'm grouping a lot together.
Yeah.
Classical.
I would go with a country song.
I think country probably is the next.
Well, it would be like
genre?
Probably the next biggest genre would be like reggaeton.
Oh, that's true.
That's the number one selling music in the world right now.
We're kind of just looking at U.S. and
what we like and what we like
now. So this isn't very But
I'd go country and I would do new guy, Sturgill Simpson.
I know the name, but I don't know.
He's amazing. He has a song called Meta Modern Sounds in Country Music. It's all about aliens and spaceships. And
perfect.
Very different for the most. It's not about like God, my truck, and my dog. It's very different. Sturgill Simpson or Ryan Adams. God, it's a tough one. I'll say Sturgill, so you can pick yours.
All right, cool. I don't know. Like, I feel like worldwide, like, I bet that they're like Shakira's probably pretty huge.
Pitbull.
And Pitbull.
Yeah, but do you want aliens to hear that and be like, oh,
Pitbull goes to hip hop. So.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
I'm trying to think of what. I don't know. It might be even like a film score, like John Williams film score. Or
yeah,
something
it's
like
a
that,
great one.
I feel like that could.
John Williams would be a good choice.
There we go.
That's very worldly of you.
Thank you. All right, we've got like 30 more seconds, real quick. If you could have an autobiography written by any musician, who would you choose?
They're writing an
autobiography. Any musician write an autobiography. Who would you choose?
I don't know if he's. What if they already did one? I seem terrible for not knowing.
That's fine.
I want to hear. Oh, geez. Mr. Smith of The Cure.
Okay.
Robert Smith of The Cure. I want to read his story.
All right, I like that. For me, it would be Damon Albarn. That's the one I would enjoy the most. All right, we went through everything on my list. Almost everything. We didn't even touch video games or TV. Well,
that's another show.
I don't know if we talked about TV at all, but we didn't barely talk about books. But anyway, that was the
movies.
show.
That was
fun.
For having me. That was a blast.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely have you back again sometime soon.
You know how to get a hold of me.
These are things I love to talk about. Thank you again, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everyone at KPCA. If you want to learn about the other shows we got a bunch of shows here at the station. You go to kpca.fm and look at the schedule. Have any questions or comments, you can email us at kpca@pca.tv. And if you have any questions specifically for this show, you can tweet us at Phil and Ariel. It's the same Twitter user as this and Phil and Ariel's mixtape, which will be on air tomorrow at 4:30. So, yeah, thanks again. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Kevin, for coming in.
Thanks for having me. What a blast.
Well, take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.